Hey guys, are you currently struggling to pay your mortgage? There's a lot going on economically at the moment with interest rates rising, and a lot of people are struggling to pay their mortgages naturally. So today we want to share some practical tips to help you with this season where you might be struggling to pay your mortgage. My name's Ken.
And I'm Mary of The Humble Penny, and what we do on this channel is to give you the practical tips, the hacks to help you take control, grow your money and work towards a dream life of financial independence and joy.
Okay, so to kick us off, because obviously a lot of people have been struggling recently, what would you say is the very first tip that would offer people when it comes to people who are struggling to pay their mortgages? What should people be doing right now?
So firstly, we would suggest that you review your lifestyle. Now, you may need to give up on certain non-essential things just so that you can prioritize paying your mortgage monthly. Also consider earning more money. With rising inflation, this is one of the more practical solutions because you definitely need to do more to earn more in this time. So why not consider maybe taking up a part-time job or using your existing skills to start a side hustle and earn an income from it? You know, what were some of your suggestions?
Well, I think, coming back to your point about giving up certain things. So a lot of people are struggling right now and trying to navigate getting by with rising inflation. And it's fully understandable that some people feel they've pushed it to that level, where like they might not be able to give stuff up. You mentioned non-essentials. What are things that are non-essentials that people can kind of maybe consider giving up in this time in order to obviously, manage their mortgage scenarios?
Yeah, so certain things like Netflix, Amazon Prime. If you have a gym membership that you're not using, it's fair if you're using it and you're getting your value from it, then fine. But if you're not using your gym membership, maybe going like once every other week, then I'll just say scrap that. Go for a jog or do some exercises at home in front of the living room. You've got YouTube and free classes literally that you can just follow from the comfort of your home, and it's free. Other things like if you get regular takeaways, you might want to cut down on that. Maybe just do a meal plan instead and have some exciting meals that will excite you about having home cooked meals as opposed to getting takeaways once or twice a week, whatever.
I can kind of see the benefit. People want to kind of treat themselves, and that's understandable, because a lot of people feel like they're struggling. So you kind of need that balance. But I think your point about earning more is definitely a really super important one.
Yeah, some people will actually struggle to give up on things. Like you said, they've probably given up already on a lot of non-essential items. And so then you need to, if you feel that you have done your most already, then look at earning more money. That way you can maintain your level of lifestyle instead of having to constantly give things up. Just see how you can earn more.
It's worth mentioning, obviously, earning more takes time to happen.
Absolutely.
So it never happens overnight, and as much as it's a tip we're sharing, and we talk about that a lot on our channel, it's very important to be practical, because for some people it might take a while to get a second job. For other people it might take a while to start a side hustle and things like. For some people, they've just lost the motivation, with taxes being levied left, right and centre and stuff like that. So I think there's an element of motivation necessary for someone to actually try and get out there and try to. Some people just feel completely flat out. They can't be bothered.
It's true.
Because there's just so much that's going on and and stuff like that.
But that point you made is good to manage expectations, because it doesn't happen overnight. Whereas maybe a part-time job, you can get that quick, quicker quick buck coming in. So it's about, deciding what works for you.
I think one tip to add for anyone who's struggling to pay their mortgage is to communicate with your bank. Because banks who obviously give mortgages to people they don't really want to repossess your home as their primary objective. Their primary objective is for you to keep paying that mortgage. Because for them, your mortgage is an asset on their balance sheet. So they don't want that mortgage to become a bad debt or a doubtful debt for that matter. So they want you paying. They want to know that you're in good shape and you're continuing to pay. But if you're struggling, it's much better to communicate, because what that can do is you have the option of a mortgage holiday potentially, where they give you a bit of a break. It's typically about 3 to 4 months thereabouts, depending on your bank. But it's definitely worth mentioning that if you ever did take a mortgage holiday, that mortgage holidays effectively, it's like you pausing your mortgage, but then, you know, it increases your debt effectively because the compounding effect of your debt carries on.
Yeah.
And what happens then when you reinstate your mortgage and you start paying again is that your monthly payment actually goes up.
Yeah,
you know, but it's important to note that what that might help you is it's just temporary short, you know, like short cash flow reprieve, you know, and you might be able to then sort your life out whilst you then reinstate your mortgage.
Yeah.
What that could also do, funny enough, when you contact your bank is that there's also the option of extending your mortgage term as a way of reducing your monthly payments. Now, we say that, obviously, Mary and I always talk about the importance of, you know, paying off your mortgage and stuff like that earlier if you can, obviously. But, you know, for the people who are really struggling, this might be a season to, you know, temporarily, you know, adjust the term on your mortgage. Just kind of help you get by. So
and
that
give you the cash flow.
Yeah, give you the cash flow just so that you're not in that scenario where there's a danger of potential repossessions and things like that.
Yeah, but the key thing is that it's temporary because the longer the years on your mortgage, I guess the more debt you'll have to pay and it accumulates. So it's short term.
What else can people do in this season? What else is occurring to you?
What else?
I mean, one thing that comes to me naturally, whilst you know you're going to share a point just then, is for people to seek help from debt charities.
Yes, that's a good one.
And this is about debt more generally, of which obviously mortgage is a part of it. The various charities that exist out there. So Step Change is one of them. Christians Against Poverty is another. There's organizations like Citizens Advice Bureau. There's a National Debt Helpline and things like that. So those organizations can help to look at your overall kind of debt picture, which would include other forms of debt outside of just a mortgage, you know, and offer a voice that you can speak to outside of just kind of just navigating this journey yourself and stuff.
That's a good one. There's a lot of really good help out there. One thing I would say is to seek help from family members. I know not a lot
controversial
of people,
that one.
Yeah, it is, because I know not a lot of people like to admit that they're struggling in a certain area, but there is no harm in asking.
Do you think it's the shame that people have that stops them asking a family member, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe the shame. I don't know. But you know, everyone's circumstances is different. Maybe it's a shame. Maybe they know everyone's struggling. I guess so. Yeah, it's good to still ask.
Yes.
Regardless of how you might feel.
And that's difficult because like family members, a lot of them are likely struggling as well. But I still think even if you're struggling, and this would depend on your family dynamics, because some family members, like me and my siblings. I can talk to my siblings about money anytime, any day, and we can kind of like come together and sort a problem out. And the same with your siblings as well. And I was speaking to someone earlier, actually yesterday, and she was saying that like she and her family members, what they do is to create like a family little pot, like a family fund that acts as a form of cash flow for anyone that's struggling, good. Like if someone lost their job or anything like that. So that idea is actually quite a good one for really even if you're not struggling right now with paying your mortgage, but you've got siblings, it might be worth actually talking about that idea of maybe creating a bit of a family pot, which might help in the event that one of you maybe struggles with your mortgage or there's a bereavement or anything like that happens in a family.
Yeah.
You know, that can act, you know, that can act as an option, you know.
Yeah.
And another tip, I guess this is more speaking to people who are people of faith, for example, is, you know, like Mary and I, we attend church, you know, periodically. And, you know, one thing I always see come up is people, you know, is people wanting like financial breakthrough and stuff like that. And I guess I mentioned this because church is obviously charities, you know, so those environments, whether you go to a mosque or wherever it is you go to, but essentially a place of a community-based space or a place of prayer and stuff. Organizations like that also offer help in different ways.
Yeah.
That help might not necessarily be financial help. It might be access to like experts within that community who can, you know, who can sit with you, who can pray with you, who can...
There's power in prayer.
Who can offer you guidance financially and who can, you know, say, okay, here are some natural steps to follow. And some churches, by the way, actually partner with other organizations that they can bring in as experts to come in and kind of help with, you know, situations where, you know, a family might be wanting to be kicked out of their home. but they're in desperate need and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's a good one.
Yeah. So overall, I would say, I think a big theme running across all these is to talk about it, isn't it?
Definitely talk about it. Don't bury anything, in the sand and hope that it will go away, because it won't. And, debt just accumulates and it just gets bigger. Don't let it spiral out of control. Definitely speak to somebody that you can trust.
Yeah.
And, Ken mentioned some great organisations. Definitely seek help from those organisations if you desperately need it.
And a place to end this video is obviously binge on our content. We've got a whole playlist dedicated to helping you get out of debt, dedicated to helping you become, manage your mortgages, your mortgages and stuff like that. So please check out that playlist, which we'll link to below and above for you to head over and check it out and stuff. And, Mary and I are super active in our comments, so if you are in that position where you're genuinely, you're really struggling with your, paying your mortgage and stuff like that, and you need that help, jump in the comments and let us know, and we'll jump in there and offer you some guidance, some encouragement and some tips to help you move forward. Also, communities are very important for this. So, obviously Mary and I run a sister brand called Financial Joy Academy, where people talk about stuff like this, but find a space where you feel is a safe space where you can talk about some of the struggles you might be having. And, there's always wisdom in crowds, right? That people can always help out in different ways.
Absolutely.
Cool. Do you want to wrap us up?
Yes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We really hope you found this video useful. Share it with somebody who you think will find it useful too. And as ever, guys,
in all things, be thankful and seek joy.
Take care, guys.
Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. We'd really appreciate it. It really helps us a lot. Every single one of you who subscribes to our channel. It's not just a number to us. It means a great deal to Mary and I.
It really does.
Really, really appreciate you. So thank you.
Much love, guys.
Take care, people.
Take
Much
care.
love.
Bye.
Bye.